Hello. Okay. I am recording on the webinar today, but also on Instagram Live. So anyone who comes onto Instagram, hello. Let me make sure I'm connected here. All right. So today is day number 5 of the Right Way week. I hope that you guys have found this week to be as amazing as I have. I hope that your eyes are open to finding a smarter way to approach your weight loss. I hope that you see that you're not the problem. And especially after today, you're really going to see how you're not the problem and how we can start approaching your lifelong weight loss with compassion and discipline. And those what feel to us in our society is that they are completely different things, right? You're either over here or you're over here, and it's binary. It's black or it's white, and that's not true. And the answer truly lies in the middle, and we have to be comfortable living in the middle. And I like to call it living in the gray, right? It's not black and it's not white. We live somewhere in here. So approaching compassion and discipline. How do you know what you need? How do you really make that true decision based on what's right for you? We second guess ourselves all the time. Should I eat more? Should I eat less? Nothing's working. Maybe I need to work harder. Oh, wait, this person on Instagram told me to stop doing HIIT. Maybe I'll do that or this and that, right? We never actually develop the ability to make our own decisions on what's best for ourselves. So how do you find the balance between compassion and discipline? Because I know as a woman's life, nutrition, mindset coach that this is the biggest thing you are lacking and why it's seemingly difficult to follow through on your commitments with yourself. There are mixed messages everywhere about healthy living and weight loss all the time, everywhere, right? You should always be trying hard to change your body. That's the message out there. There's too much advice about hard and fast rules, right? It's black or white, it's yes or no. But the answer isn't there. It's in the middle. It's gray. It feels weird. It's uncomfortable because you're left to make that decision for yourself and what's right for you. That's a hard sell, right? It's not sexy. Your mind wants to know. Just tell me what to do so I can do the thing and get the result. That's what the diet industry has been selling you. They're selling you tanned bodies with sculpted muscles that you see on with bikinis on, right? The seemingly perfect body, selling you that we should all look the same. And if she looks this way, then you can look this way too. And your view of a healthy woman is very skewed, as if humans are anything besides beautifully designed and unique in their own ways. If we all ate and moved the same way, we would still look vastly different. You're sold a plan that's called paleo, or count the points, or do keto, or be vegan. And then you're trapped inside this box. And when you step outside that box, you have just fallen off the wagon and you're bad and you're imperfect. You've failed. And what do you feel from all of those thoughts? Shame. And shame is unfortunately the name of the game when you start a diet. But that's the opposite of what we're going to talk about today, which is the balance between self-compassion and self-discipline. But the feeling you know all too well is shame. And if there's any barrier to you feeling better in your body, it's shame. And it's sold to you inside the diet box. Inside the box that's telling you, do XYZ, don't question it, don't stray, because if you do, you're not cut out for this, or you can just try harder. It looks ideal to our minds, and it tells you what to do, and then you get the results, right? Do XYZ, then you'll feel this way, then you'll look this way. But it doesn't happen that way, right? And we get very confused when it doesn't happen. Shame is one of the most damaging emotions because what do you do from shame? Actions that are sabotaging you, actions that show self-loathing, talking to yourself like a mean girl in the 7th grade. You feel unworthy of the vibrant life you truly want to have. You cut yourself off and take actions that match that feeling of shame. There was a really good study that I just read recently about the relationship between mental stress, your brain, and inflammation. The study had 41 participants, and they had them do math, and then the worst thing ever, public speaking. And afterward, they took blood samples of all of these people and found that IL-6 was just as a marker of inflammation. These markers were high. They did it the next day. So they had these participants do the same thing, public speaking and math. They did it the next day, and then they were even higher. So it's not that repetition made their body respond in a different way. But what they found next was astounding. It was that with the group of the highest levels of self-compassion, they had this before the study started, had the lowest inflammatory response to the stress of public speaking and doing math. This is powerful messaging because this is the actual connection between your emotional body and your physical body, which what we talked about yesterday. You want to feel your best and look your best in the healthiest way. You have to find a balance between your emotional world and your physical world. This starts with letting go of one of the things that's holding you back. It's the number one thing, perfectionism. What starts with shame? Right before that was perfectionism, right? Thinking that you must do things in a certain way to get the result that you want, but that's not true. Perfectionism is a lie and it doesn't exist. You can take it to court. You can try to prove a point and deem it as perfect, but you actually can't prove perfectionism in the court of law with science. You can't prove it. You make it up in your mind. The reason you think you need to be perfect is because that if you're perfect, then you'll get the results. It feels like a guarantee. It's the black and white thinking, but that's not true. You actually get your results with a balance of compassion for yourself and discipline. You get your result by living in the gray. You get your result by living with the ebb and the flow of life and not the strict on or off. Stop with the on and off crap. Stop getting on a wagon and falling off. Be the wagon. Your human body is actually incapable of perfectionism. Yet you hold it to that standard, and then you feel loads of guilt and shame when it's just doing what it's supposed to do. Your physical body, your mental body, and your emotional body, they're not binary. They are trying to live in the gray, and you are trying to keep them from it. You're not going to always eliminate junk and processed food every single day for the rest of your life, even when I tell you all the science based on junk food and processed food. You're still a human living a human life with the human experience. You won't get every workout in. You won't always get 8 hours of sleep, even when I tell you how important it is. You won't meditate daily. You won't not get sick or not feel sad. And your kids will get sick and your kids will need you. And unfortunately, social media and the world out there is not pointing that out for you. You're just seeing a seemingly perfect body with a promise that can't be kept. So start throwing perfectionism out the window. It is no more. The tendencies will still be there, and I want you to know that because you want to be better. You have great intentions for yourself, and that should be celebrated. but be a human in your life instead of being a human that only does. What's the present? Being, not doing. Remember that yesterday? Your kids won't remember your clean kitchen floors, but they will remember you being with them. Your kids will have no idea how much you weigh, but your kids will remember how happy you are. So how do you start? How do you have the discipline you need to still do the things that you want to do, that do in fact feel uncomfortable, that will make your reactive brain scream, no, I don't want to, and that will feel easy in the moment to not do, while still having compassion for yourself when it doesn't happen and when you do have a human life. That's called self-love. If every decision you make comes from self-love, there is no problem. Whether that's a cookie, scrolling Facebook, lifting the weights, or eating a salad. I cannot argue with you, and nor can anyone else, if you truly make a decision that's rooted in self-love. When you make a decision, you do have to be honest with yourself and build the trust that you will always have your back. You will always know what's best. You will be willing to call yourself out on your own shit. Be willing to love yourself unconditionally through the end. Because you can't hate yourself on the way there and expect to wake up in the morning at your goal and love yourself, because it won't be there. You will be disappointed and you'll say things like, I thought it would be different. I thought this role would be gone. I thought my legs would look better. I thought I'd finally love myself. And then you'll ask, well, what do I do now? And when you haven't done this from a place of self-love, you'll continue to push harder, getting you to the spot that we talked about on Wednesday when nothing works anymore. You're tired, you're sad, you're empty. And all this work that you've done because you thought you were doing something good for yourself has gone to waste. You never actually found what you were looking for, which was self-love all along. And this is where coaching comes in. This is where having a coach who knows you, understands you and your life circumstances, and holds unconditional space for you and your goal. Often when you set out to lose weight for the very last time, you lack some belief because of your past, because of failures, because of stopping and starting all over again. Your mind will tell you the same story when you start this time. Oh, here she goes again. Here we go. We know how this ends, but okay, we'll let her try again, right? Your mind is going to offer that up. And that's where all the drama starts to come in. That's where you're like, oh my gosh, my family's going to think this. Oh my gosh, I don't want to tell anyone that I want to have a salad instead of a burger. But with me as your coach, I will hold your belief until you're ready to take it. If you don't believe quite yet, let me hold it until you can get there. This is how I coach you to the physical, the emotional, and the mental autonomy that you need to have to reach your goal and to stay there. Believing, trusting, and completing it all on your own. And mindfully well will get you there. If you want it, it will happen. What if I told you that it was inevitable, that if you wanted it, it would happen? What would you do? You would join. It would be a no-brainer, right? But I want to take a few steps back when I said, if you want it, because shooting your way to weight loss will not get you there. Just because you can lose weight doesn't mean you want to. You have to want it. It has to be a true desire of yours that's planted inside your heart that has nothing to do with the outside world. It has nothing to do with the people on Instagram that have the seemingly perfect body. It has nothing to do with the way you think you should feel in your group of friends about your body. It's about how you truly feel and what you truly want. And this week we've talked about what do you truly want? And we remember back from Monday, what you truly want is not weight loss. What you want is the feeling you have when you reach weight loss. What is that thing? That's the thing you're looking for. That's the want. That's the desire. It is not a number on a scale. Because even with self-love, even with unconditional self-love, you are still a human living a human experience. And if you get to a certain weight on the scale, and that's all you were focused on, you're still going to be unhappy. So if you're going to do this for the very last time, do it for love. Do it for you, because at the end of this, no one is going to do it for you, but I will hold you to it. I know your goal and I understand your goal. I know how to get you there. I know how to see you to it. I can see your whole picture when you can't. That's what a coach does. I can see when you need a rest, but you can't see it. I can see when you need to push, but you can't. When you need some tough love, you can't always see that. But I love you through it and show you how to love yourself through it. Self-love looks like evolving trust with yourself so you know when to pick up the weight or take a nap. Self-love looks like doing what you said you would do, even when it's uncomfortable, because you know you've got your back. Self-love looks like staying conscious in your feelings and not eating to cover them up, because you know what you really need now. It's not a bowl of ice cream. It's a nap. It's saying no to something you truly don't want to do. It's setting boundaries and holding them up. Self-love looks like getting up to work out because you know what a rested body feels like now. Self-love looks like committing to quality sleep because you know what a tired body feels like. Self-love looks like taking a rest day because you love your body enough to rest. Self-love looks like saying no when you want to say no and saying yes when you want to say yes. When did somebody take that away from you? Self-love looks like knowing what you want and following through. What did you tell me that you wanted on Monday? Did you write it down? Because if you didn't, you're going to write it down today. Put it somewhere where you see it often. Put it on your fridge. Put it on your bathroom mirror. Put it in your phone on the background. Put it in your calendar. Put it on your journal. Put it on your car dashboard. And you love yourself until you get there. Because when you get there, it's so much better. It's even better than you thought it would be. That's the missing link. That's what you haven't done yet. It's not just about the foods in your body. It's about how you think. It's about how you feel. It's about what you do from those feelings. So, are you going to commit to loving yourself through this? And are you ready to stop putting it off? Those are the questions I'm going to leave you with today. And you notice that today is actually a little bit shorter than what it has been. And that's on purpose. Because now you have 10 more minutes and you get to sit down and you get to write out what you want. And you get to make the commitment to follow through from a place of self-love and no more loathing, no more hatred, no more pushing against your body until it is forcing you to rest. We talked all about your metabolism. We talked about blood sugar balance. We talked about deconditioning from diets. You have all that information. And now you get to make a well-informed choice. And you know what the choices are. You don't have to sit in confusion anymore. So don't let yourself say that. Don't let yourself leave this call today and say, I'm confused. You're not confused. You're just avoiding decisions. And that's not serving you. From today, and if you don't work with me, I still want you to lose weight in a way that comes from self-love. Okay? You do that from today. Sit down, write out what you want, and then you make your choices from the future you who loves herself. If you were at your goal today and you did it out of unconditional love, and it was you at your goal, what would she be doing today? How would she be eating her lunch today? How would she be approaching her weekend? How would she think about her next week? What are the things that she does differently than what you, feeling stuck, not making decisions, feeling confused, loathing, treating yourself like a mean girl? What does the future you do different than her? Those are your answers. Those are the things you start doing right now. You don't wait until Monday. You don't wait until a new month. You don't wait for a new year. You don't wait for the right time, because now's the right time. When you make a choice from self-love, it's always the right time. You will have a link in today's replay to read more about Mindfully Well. And from there, you can set up a consultation where I will ask you some more questions. I'll tell you what we'll work on together. You'll get your very own protocol. And then we get to work for 4 months together. And we start losing weight from a place that supports your body, not only physically, but mentally and emotionally. And we get you to a place where you have the autonomy in your life to make those forever decisions. This isn't a cookie cutter plan. This isn't the diet industry. This is teaching you how to be a healthy adult woman, living a life you love in a body that feels like yours. This is it. Okay, it was lovely to have you all this week. I have enjoyed each and every one of you, and all of your email responses have truly hit all of the heartstrings and pulled on all of them. I've wiped more than a few tears this week. And if I don't, wait, now I'll probably start again. And I'm not even a crier. But you all of your stories, all of your responses have truly, they've meant the world to me. And I hope that they've hit differently for you, and that from here, you make those choices so that you can live a life that you really want. It's not about the number on the scale. It's about your life. Okay, guys, I'll see you soon. Bye.